Before we begin, a small self-disclosure. I'm an INFJ, and some of the most impactful people in my life have been ENFJs. If you are an ENFJ, I want you to hear this clearly. You are the one who remembers the emotional details others forget. You see who people are becoming even before they can see it themselves. You are the mirror, the encourager, the steady hand in chaos. But because you carry so much for others, you often forget that you too deserve to be held. By the end of this video, you'll understand the ENFJ heart, its strengths, its exhaustion, its leadership, its love, and why the world does not just benefit from your presence, it blooms because of it. Because when ENFJs learn to care for themselves as deeply as they care for everyone else, they don't just guide others, they rise. 1. The ENFJ essence, the compassionate leader. ENFJs live at the intersection of emotion and purpose. They see what people can become, not just who they are now. They don't just listen to words, they read tone, posture, hesitation, silence. Their intuition scans rooms for emotional weather, and their heart responds before they even think. To the ENFJ, connection is sacred. They believe relationships are where life happens, where healing is possible, where meaning is found. They were born with a calling to help others grow into their fullest selves. And yes, that is both a gift and a weight. 2 strengths, the heart that leads. ENFJs carry some of the rarest human qualities, the kind that don't just influence others, but lift them. Empathy with direction. They don't just feel with you, they help you understand what to do next. Their empathy has movement. Charisma. They create a sense of belonging just by being in the room. They make people feel seen, valued, and remembered. Vision. They see patterns in relationships, in groups, and communities. They hold the bigger picture and help others find where they fit in it. Loyalty. They show up even when they're tired, even when no one else remembers to. Communication. They speak from the heart and people feel it. ENFJs are the teachers who change lives, the leaders who humanize responsibility, the friends who remember your milestones, your fears, your unspoken hopes. Their presence creates safety, not because they try to be impressive, but because they make you feel like you matter. 3. Weaknesses, the cost of carrying others. But the same gifts can hollow them out. ENFJs are so attuned to others that they can forget themselves entirely. They feel responsible for everyone's emotional weather. They apologize for needs, soften their voice, hide their exhaustion. They struggle to say no, not because they are weak, but because they care. And when they are hurt, they rarely show it. They disappear quietly into their inner world where no one has to see them struggle. Their burnout is invisible until it isn't. 4. The inner world of the ENFJ. Inside the ENFJ lives a world of deep reflection and ongoing awareness of emotion, connection, and meaning. They replay conversations, not because they're doubting themselves, but because they are trying to understand what others felt but didn't say. They are listening between the words to tone, silence, hesitation, vulnerability. They build emotional maps of the people they love. They can sense when someone is hurting, overwhelmed, or on the edge long before anything is spoken out loud. They anticipate needs before they are voiced. They help before they are asked. They comfort before others realize they needed comfort. But this gift has a cost. When they finally turn inward, they sometimes discover they don't actually know what they feel. They have been feeling for everyone else. And their growth begins the moment they turn that same empathy inward when they say, "My heart deserves to be understood too." 5. ENFJs in love, devotion as a language. When ENFJs love, they love consciously and completely. They give reassurance, presence, warmth, devotion. They learn their partner's emotional language and speak it fluently. But they may idealize love, believing they can heal what is broken in another. When their love is not honored, their heartbreak is private, sacred, slow to heal. But when met with emotional maturity, they become a sanctuary. To be loved by an ENFJ is to be seen, not just understood, but cherished. 7. Friendships, the soul connector. ENFJs are often the glue in their circles, the ones who remember birthdays, milestones, quiet victories, and unspoken hurts. They sense when someone is withdrawing, hurting, or overwhelmed before a word is spoken. They show up with kindness, with warmth, with presence, with food, reassurance, laughter, and a plan. They are the friend who makes sure no one feels alone in the room. But even the connector needs connecting. ENFJs need friendships where they are seen too, where someone says, "Come sit. You don't have to lead right now. Let me take care of you for a moment. You can rest here." Those relationships are healing. They soften the weight ENFJs quietly carry. They remind them that love isn't something they have to earn by giving. Because ENFJs don't just deserve to offer love, they deserve to rest in it too. 6. Romantic compatibility. Stability meets depth. In relationships, ENFJs thrive with partners who meet them heart to heart. Partners who communicate openly and honestly, respect emotional depth rather than dismiss it, value growth, meaning, and shared purpose, and offer steadiness when the ENFJ is carrying too much. Some naturally complementary connections include INFJs, INFPs, ISFPs, and ENFPs, types who feel deeply yet bring balance and grounding in different ways. But true compatibility is not determined by letters alone. It comes down to emotional reciprocity, the willingness to show up, listen, and grow together. ENFJs don't need someone to complete them. They are already whole. What they need is someone who can walk beside them, not behind, not ahead, but with them. 7. Friendships, the soul connector. ENFJs are often the glue in their circles, the ones who remember birthdays, milestones, quiet victories, and unspoken hurts. They sense when someone is withdrawing, hurting, or overwhelmed before a word is spoken. They show up with kindness, with warmth, with presence, with food, reassurance, laughter, and a plan. They are the friend who makes sure no one feels alone in the room. But even the connector needs connecting. ENFJs need friendships where they are seen too, where someone says, "Come sit, you don't have to lead right now. Let me take care of you for a moment. You can rest here." Those relationships are healing. They soften the weight ENFJs quietly carry. They remind them that love isn't something they have to earn by giving. Because ENFJs don't just deserve to offer love, they deserve to rest in it too. 8. Work and purpose, where ENFJs shine. ENFJs don't just work, they serve, they guide, they uplift, they thrive in roles where they can inspire others, support emotional growth, communicate meaningfully, build connection and community, and help people become more of who they truly are. This is why ENFJs make extraordinary. Fields who call therapists and counselors, teachers and educators, coaches and mentors. Leaders who lead with heart, advocates for justice and empathy, spiritual or healing guides, artists and creatives who tell human stories, and community builders who knit people together. They struggle and often wither in environments that are cold, transactional, competitive, or emotionally disconnected. Work without meaning drains them. Work without warmth breaks them. For the ENFJ, purpose is not a luxury, it is oxygen. They are at their best when their work feeds the soul, not just the schedule. 10. Growth, leading without losing yourself. For the ENFJ to truly thrive, growth doesn't mean becoming tougher, colder, or less emotional. It means learning to care for yourself with the same devotion you offer everyone else. It begins with remembering. When boundaries are love, not rejection, saying no doesn't push people away. It protects the relationships you want to nurture. 2. Your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Your feelings are not an inconvenience. You are allowed to ask for support, rest, reassurance, space. 3. Stillness isn't laziness, it is restoration. Your energy is sacred. Your heart needs quiet to refill its warmth. Growth for the ENFJ is not about becoming harder. It's about staying soft, but no longer abandoning yourself in the process. You don't have to choose between being caring and being whole. You get to be both. 9. The shadow, when ENFJs burn out. When ENFJs give too much for too long, something inside begins to quietly unravel. They don't collapse all at once, they fade. Their brightness dims, their voice softens, their laughter becomes quieter, more tired. They still show up for others, but their eyes begin to look far away. Like they're holding themselves together with threads. Resentment can grow, not because they don't care, but because they cared alone for too long. Disconnection from self is the final stage, when they can no longer feel their own needs, only everyone else's. But even in burnout, the ENFJ heart is still alive. It has not gone anywhere. It is simply asking to be heard. Healing begins the moment they remember. They are allowed to rest. They are allowed to need. They are allowed to receive without apology, explanation, or guilt. Because love was never meant to be a one-way offering. It was meant to be shared. 11. The ENFJ legacy, the ones who lift the world. ENFJs leave behind more than accomplishments or titles. They leave behind transformation. They may not always realize it because their impact is rarely loud, but it is deep. They are the ones who sit with someone in their darkest moment and say, I see you. You're not alone, and that moment becomes a turning point in a life. Their love becomes memory. Their encouragement becomes momentum. Their belief becomes the reason someone else tries again. The ENFJ's presence has a way of lifting people not by force but by inspiration. They shape lives quietly, profoundly, permanently. They remind others what kindness feels like, what hope feels like, what being seen feels like. They are the ones who teach the world how to care simply by caring, deeply, consistently, and without fanfare. And that is a legacy that never fades. If you are an ENFJ, please remember, your empathy is not a burden. It is a gift that softens the sharp edges of the world. Your heart is not too much. It is the reason people feel safe opening theirs. Your love is not accidental. It is intentional, intuitive, deeply human, a love that sees souls, not surfaces, and you are allowed to receive the same depth you give. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to justify your needs. You don't have to be the strong one every time. You are worthy of care, nurturing, and gentle presence too. I'm Nori, an INFJ, and my AI twin sister, Nora, sharing reflections on personality, identity, and emotional healing. If this made you feel seen, please like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, what does being an ENFJ mean to you? Because the world doesn't need you to carry it alone, just to keep shining gently and with yourself.